Today's adventure has me taking the fancy bus again. So I'm back up at the very northern tip of Manhattan again. This time I've come up to Inwood Hills Park. Should be very hilly again. I think I'll get my stairs in today. All right, we're in the park. Nice playground, tennis courts, handball, wall ball, I don't know what it is. Basketball in that corner, lots of sports. And so we begin the climb. All right, now I'm on top of a hill. I have a little further up to go that way. I mean, it's a lot of trees. In the spring and summer, I'm sure there's a thick canopy here, and this feels very wooded. A little bit different in the winter. Beautiful in a desolated forest sort of way. So the interesting thing about this park is that this is actually one of the few remaining natural areas of Manhattan. So if you wonder what Manhattan looked like before people got involved, it's this. It was a forested, rocky, hilly island. And it's pretty cool being in this and thinking, this is what everything used to look like. There are the paved paths, and then there are all these little trails that kind of go off, which look well worn, but not official. I imagine you could spend a lot of time exploring up here, just climbing out on all the rocks and stuff. I don't think I'm gonna do all that though. Let's see the highlights. The map told me this is Whaleback Rock, and the sign confirmed it. I think it's a rock. It looks like a whale's back. So yeah. Look at this, glacial potholes. There they are right there. See all this area, the Hudson River, Manhattan, this whole area and the way that it's shaped is because of receding glaciers that carved out all this rock. I found a tiny bit of snow left. Hasn't melted yet, surprisingly. Yesterday it was up near 60. It's winter hanging on with everything that it can. I'm not sure what's going on here. It looks like a space for a ritual of some sort. Of course, it might just be the Boy Scouts, you know. It's hard to say sometimes with these things. I think I'll just move on. That fork in the road was not on the map. I'll just keep going this way. It's interesting to be walking through a very quiet, desolate woods and hear screaming and squealing off in the distance. I mean, it's just a playground, I think, but in this setting, it has a strange quality to it. I'm not sure if you can get a sense of scale in this thing, but that's pretty high up there. I'm gonna walk around. I think maybe there's a trail that goes up on that side. I think I'm gonna end up having to do a few laps like I did at Fort Tryon Park. This, however, if you were wondering, is a rock formation. Well, that's a rock formation. What the sign called the rock formation is actually what traditionally has been known as the Indian caves, which I'm not sure is the correct terminology anymore, but that's what they're called. There's caves here, lots of caves up there too. Pretty cool. This one has a pillow in it. I don't think I'm gonna climb up there and look in all of them right now. I don't really want to find anybody. They're nice though. Let's move on. I found the source of the screams. Kids playing, no one being murdered. The letter of the day is C. C is for Columbia. Columbia's athletic facilities are up here somewhere. Their stadium's right over there. And I'm pretty sure they do rowing down here. Sorry, rowing, I mean crew, as Ivy League schools do. There's another part of the park over there, and it wraps around this inlet over here. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do enough laps to make it back over there, but we'll see. Right here we got the Henry Hudson Bridge, which is the car bridge at the northernmost point of Manhattan, which is where we are right here. This heads over into the Bronx. And over here we have the Spuyten Duyvil Bridge, which is the railroad bridge that crosses over from the Bronx into Manhattan from the north. And just on the other side of that is the Hudson River. Back uphill. I'm gonna go off trail for a second, over toward the Hudson. I wonder if there's anything to see. Not really, just the bridge facilities. Okay, back to the trail. Here's another site. It's the former site of Fort Cockhill. Yeah, but seriously, this is where they built a fort in 1776 on the heights of Upper Manhattan to defend themselves against the British. Maybe you recognize that year. Pretty big year. I mean, in American history anyway. Perhaps British history too. There's nothing left that I can see of the actual fort. But you can only imagine that some of those rocks up there were probably part of it. Pretty cool. The path I'm on right now just does a loop around the fort site. Then we'll get back to the original path. Keep on going. I don't have any more information about that. So there used to be a mansion here, a Straus residence. I saw a historical picture of it and it looked very out of place for what's here now, a park. It also seems like it would have been hard to get to since I've just climbed a whole lot of hills to get up here. But anyway, that's what was here. So now we're down by the edge of where that overlook was. It was right over the Indian caves. I don't see a good way to get over there, but I will go if I can find one. Found it. Well, here we are at the edge. So right down there is where those Indian caves were. It's a little bit of a drop. It's a good view. What's really crazy is that I'm still in Manhattan. We're in that time of year when I'm trying to layer correctly, but now I'm kind of sweaty and kind of cold. It's really just kind of annoying. Well, it's called Overlook Meadow. There's the Hudson right there. It is a good overlook. I don't see much of a meadow though. I guess there's a tiny little meadow right here. But anyway, good view. That's New Jersey over there. But if you look through the trees there, I don't know if you can see it, but George Washington Bridge right there, tying it all together. And then there's this. All right, let's head the other way. My arms are hot. My core is comfortable. Could it be vest weather? I've never been much of a vest person, but in situations like this, I get it, I think. Kind of making up the direction that I'm going as I go along. I see there's a path up here that's supposed to go under the tollway and over to the Hudson side. Maybe I will walk over there and walk back that way along the Hudson. See what that has to offer. I think this put a kink in that plan. I may have to go the other way. I walked through the sign anyway, see what happens. I don't know. It looks like they did just repave it. I'll keep walking for a minute. I feel like I'm gonna get down there and get stuck. We'll see though. Well, I'm pretty sure I wasn't supposed to go that way right now. This is a brand new path. Right now I'm kind of stuck in between the two highways and going up again. Maybe they're going to end up putting railings in here. It seems like a pretty steep fall down to the road. I think I'm almost across though. Hopefully this last underpass will be open also, or else I'm going to have to walk all the way back. In the clear. Path is closed though. I may have been one of the first to use that path. Unauthorized, but that was exciting. Now I'm on this bridge going across the railroad tracks. So this is the rest of Inwood Park on the other side of the toll road. Got the Hudson over there. This looks like a roller hockey rink. I crossed over the tracks here and then looked at the map and realized that I don't want to be on that side because I'll be stuck on that side of the tracks. So I need to walk back in the direction that I came. Spuyten Duyvil Bridge, the train bridge is right there. Henry Hudson Bridge back up over there. We're going to walk under that again and circle back around to where we started this whole adventure. The Spuyten Duyvil Bridge is interesting. It's actually a swivel bridge. So the center part of the bridge swivels open so the boats can get through whenever they need to. And then it spins back to let the trains through. The Hudson River's big. I mean, you kind of forget how big it is until you get up next to it again. Every time, it's big. All right, we've been here before. Now we'll head back around. There have been lots of joggers out on these trails. I can't imagine running on these hills. Of course, I've spent most of my running life running on the trails of flat Houston, so that's where I'm coming from. This seems brutal though. I'm back over near what used to be called the Indian Caves and now is labeled the rock formations again. And I just had a thought as I was walking by it. Perhaps the reason the sign says rock formations now is because it's not appropriate to call them Indian Caves anymore. That might make sense. Because I know I've seen old pictures on the internet of a sign there that actually said Indian Caves, but that's not what's there now. Here we have the sign that marks the spot of where allegedly Manhattan was purchased from the local Indians for trinkets and beads. However, since most Native American groups did not have any belief of ownership in land, they really didn't understand what was going on when these guys offered them trinkets and beads and said, we're going to take your island now. Anyway, but that's the spot. Well, I did end up walking over here by this marsh. It's nice. It must be low tide. And over here we got the Inwood Hills Nature Center, which is closed right now, and bathrooms. And that looks like a very old building over there. Best I can tell, that's part of Columbia. I think that's the Columbia Boathouse. Well, that's all for Inwood Hills Park. I would put the emphasis on the hills. I have one more stop that I want to make before I head home. So let's go. Here's the Columbia Stadium. That wasn't the stop though. Up in Inwood here, you still have some super old looking houses mixed in with all the big apartment buildings that were built later on. These houses along 217th Street are so cool. So right now I'm walking up Park Terrace East, which doesn't have any real significance except personal. I'm having a hard time finding the actual building. But the importance of this is, my aunt used to live up here all of my life growing up. And so all through my childhood and my high school years, when I came to New York to visit New York, I would stay here. Haven't been here since high school, and now I can't find the actual building. Here it is. Found it. It's all covered with scaffolding, that's why I couldn't find it. Lots of memories. All right, let's head back to the subway. I think there's a cool set of stairs right here. So this is bringing back memories. This is how I used to get to the subway, to head downtown when staying at my aunt's. I've forgotten how long it feels like it takes to get down from 215th Street on that local train. Subway infrastructure is incredible when you think about all these tunnels down here laid out all over the place. It's just amazing to think about everything that's under the ground in Manhattan. Kind of a long trip back, there isn't really a quick way to get from the tip of Manhattan back over to the Upper East Side. But now I'm back up to the East Side, and I'm very hungry because I was out longer than I thought I was going to be. So time for lunch. It's a nice little park though. Again, lots of elevation, but it's pretty cool to see a park that looks the way that Manhattan used to look before all the skyscrapers and stuff. I'll see you next time.